Hello. This video will review what was covered the first day of class for the in-person NTR445. We're going to start with the syllabus. I've opened up the Canvas shell here and navigated to the syllabus tab. I do review this with the in-person students, so for spring of 2022, or whatever semester this happens to be in that you're viewing, providing you my contact information in my office location. I do want to point out my office hours, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and they are in person or via Zoom, and I do have a Zoom link in Canvas which I will point out once we get into the modules section. The TA for lab is Jeff Patterson, and his office hours are listed as well as his email address. If you happen to miss lab or know that you're ill and miss lab, please reach out to him using that email address to let him know that you will not be in lab for that day. There are a few textbooks required for this class. Well, really only one that's required, a few that are optional, that's what I should say. Gregoire is the required text. You can locate the 8th or 9th edition, either one is fine. There is an option for Food for 50. This is a quantity food production textbook by Mary Molt. Any edition is fine. They go back many, many years. You can probably find some used ones on Amazon if you would choose to buy this. I do have a couple of these copies available for students to view during the standardized recipe and costing labs. That's really when this book is used. And then Serve Safe. I do recommend this if students have not had any food safety knowledge. We will be taking the National Serve Safe Certification Manager Certification in this class, which does require a fair amount of knowledge in food safety. I don't have a dedicated lecture for this, so it's best if you don't have a lot of food safety knowledge to purchase this course book. You don't need the exam Scantron, as I will provide that to you when you take the exam the first time around. If you do not pass the Serve Safe test the first time, you will be required to purchase an additional exam to take it again in order to pass it for that certification. The certification is good for 5 years. I'm going to scroll through these objectives just to get down to what most students want to know about is how they gain points in this class and earn grades. So the first area is your academic integrity statement of understanding. This is under the modules. It's worth 15 points. It's all or nothing. Serve Safe exam is worth 100 points. If you already have completed Serve Safe, you'll just need to reach out to me, and I have a couple options for you on how we will proceed. If you haven't taken it, then you'll just take it in class and earn points for it there. I do have 3 exams, but I do drop your lowest score, so it's only worth 200 points. If you find that you do well on the first 2 exams, then you are not obligated to take the final, and thus you can drop that final. There is a cash handling certification. This is a requirement of business services since we do handle money. Even though it's in the form of credit card payments, we do require or are required by business services to have everybody review this certification. It's a PowerPoint presentation and a short quiz that you'll take on Canvas. There is a National School Lunch Program assignment. We'll get more into that as we get closer to the actual assignment due date. You do have a quiz in lab for the first week. That's worth 10 points, and then you do have weekly lab quizzes that are on Canvas after that. There's 7 of those, worth 5 points apiece. And last, you have lab survey questions. This is essentially developing questions that we can develop a survey to survey our guests. This meets a competency of survey development. And then the majority of the points are coming from your large capstone project, which you complete in both lecture and lab, but majority of it in lab. There's a variety of points in this project. Or a lot of them are all or nothing, meaning you can earn all of it or you don't earn any of it. So a team contract, you can earn 10 points as long as it's submitted on time. Standardized recipe is 15 points as long as it's submitted on time. And these are team submissions. So you'll have teams set up in Canvas once we get your teams, determined, and then they'll be set up in Canvas accordingly. You do have some documents that you'll submit for your production day, your purchase order, your costing information, and your menu. We do have a little bit of marketing information, so you'll create a marketing JPEG that you'll upload for 5 points. Portfolio, which is a submission of your entire work over the course of the semester. That's due the very last day of the semester. It's a culmination of everything that you've done for the project. You also get points for your lab day execution. So in this project, you and a team of 2 to 3 other individuals are running the kitchen for the day. You create your own menu, you supervise your fellow students, and you cost those items out, and you also provide a purchase order to tell chef what to buy on your behalf. Because it is a team project, there is a peer evaluation aspect to it where you can earn up to 25 points. We do take attendance in every lab, and each lab has points associated with it. So the regular weeks of lab are worth 10 points for 9 weeks, which is 90 points. And then production weeks, which are group A, B, and C. So there's 3 of those weeks, and they're double the points, 20 points each. I do offer extra credit up to 20 points that you can earn. With your total point, max total available is 735 points. Attendance, I don't take attendance in lecture. Attendance is taken in lab, but if you are ill or excused absences, for whatever area that's noted here, please let me know, particularly for lab, and we can excuse you. And if you are absent or you have to quarantine or self-isolation due to any kind of illness, please let us know, and if possible, provide documentation. There is a face cover policy requirement currently at ASU, so you will need to wear a face cover in all classrooms and in the lab during service and throughout the time of your lab. And there are some information here if you can attend class due to COVID, if you can provide documentation, a negative or a positive test, just so we can have, ensure that we can excuse your absence accordingly. More information about COVID reporting, we'll just let the Dean of Students know so they can, reach out and take care and make sure that you're doing okay. I'm not going to go into all of the lab information that's posted or listed here in the syllabus, as that is going to be reviewed in the first day of lab. Lab statement of understanding. This is essentially saying that you will act professional and do everything that is required in lab and not, act accordingly. Meaning you're not going to throw food at each other or yell obscenities at one another. You'll attend lab and lecture with your uniform, your apron, closed-toed shoes, and the like. We also need to know if you have food allergies, because we do provide food and make food in this lab. You're not required to consume the food that's made, but we do need to know if you have any food allergies, so you do need to let Chef Kent know the first day of lab, so we can make sure we keep you safe and make accommodations as needed. Exams, and assignments, I do allow late assignments, although I think that's in the next section. This is just about makeup exams. If you're going to be out of town, just let me know. We can arrange for you to take the exam at a different time. All exams are taken online through Canvas and through Respondus, so you don't actually have to show up in person. You can take it any time during the day that it's noted in the course schedule. As noted, there is some extra credit opportunities. Sometimes they are actual events that Chef Kent is preparing food for, and he might need assistance, so there's opportunities there. I do have opportunities also on Canvas for you to watch and to accumulate extra credit. but I don't allow any more than 20 points. So you might attend additional events past the 20-point mark, that's fine, but I don't provide any more points than 20. As far as communicating with myself or the TA, please email and let me know what course you're in. This is not the only course that I teach, so it's helpful if you can identify yourself. Same thing for your TA. The TA teaches more than one lab section, so it's helpful if you can note what lab section you are in when addressing them. Work ethic and appearance. This is essentially indicating what we expect for proper attire in a food safety environment. So no see-through clothes, strapless dresses or halter tops, excessively short shorts, mini skirts, low hanging pants or tank tops, any clothing with a vulgar or offensive language, etc. So if you're not dressed appropriately for lab, you will be asked to leave and your attendance points will be forfeited. As mentioned before, I do accept late work, but you do incur a 50% point deduction off the top if it's submitted late. So some points are better than no points, but do recognize that you will have a point deduction if you turn in anything late without an excuse. The rest is pretty standard syllabus information as in regards to disputed scores and student contact, Title IX, incomplete grades, and academic integrity. Okay. Disability accommodations and emergency safety procedures, so you can read over that information at your leisure. I am now going to jump to the module section just to show you where you can find my Zoom link for office hours as well as your TA. I do want to point out you'll want to download the course and lab schedule. This is an important document as it indicates what we're doing in both lab and lecture each week. It's set up with the week noted. Lab is always going to be in the white area. Lecture is going to be in the gray. Lab is, first week is introduction. It's giving you what you're going to learn, what you need to have prepared before, what you're going to do during that time, and then what you need to do after class meeting. This is true for each week. That's how this is set up. So please make sure you download and have a copy of this so you know what is required each week in both lab and in lecture. This coming week, we have obviously a review of in class, and you'll have your Module 0 academic integrity is due by January 16th by 11:59 p.m. So all of your deliverables or due dates are going to be listed in this last column, and they are all in bold. Last but not least, the way Canvas is set up is the modules are set up by week. So Module 1 is what we covered in week 1. Module 2 is what we'll cover in week 2, and so forth. So it will match, or it should match at least, the calendar and the course calendar that I just showed you. So that very first column indicates the week, which also indicates links to the module that you're on. So week 2, module 2, week 3, module 3, and so forth. So if you have a lab quiz due that week, it's going to be found in the module or the week that you're currently in, or that it's due. Okay, I don't have separate sections for lab quizzes or separate sections for just assignments. It's all set up in a week format under each module. Okay, with that, I think that's the basic review. Please reach out if you have any questions, and thanks so much.